So how do you love yourself? We hear a lot of you need to go learn to love yourself. You need to love yourself first. But what's largely missing is the how. Like, how do we actually start loving ourselves more? So we will attract our inner belief system about ourselves in the form of another person. That is why you always hear relationships are like mirrors. So this is why it's important that we self-love, so that we can attract from an inner belief system that's more empowering and healthy. So for self-love right now, we hear things like do a sheet mask, exercise, watch your favorite show, drink more water, do something daily that lights you up, and these are all valid, but that's kind of like the surface level of self-love. And I'm going to take that to the next level in just a second. So these things are important because the acts of caring for yourself, considering yourself, and creating space for yourself fosters self-value. And we need to be able to receive that kind of love from someone else. The goal is to be able to receive the same kind of love from someone else that you are giving to yourself. And we tend to accept the love that we think that we deserve. And we tend to love others how we love ourselves. That's a huge part of it. So a lot of times we're better at not caring for ourselves, not considering ourselves, aka setting boundaries. So if we don't hear ourselves, consider ourselves, we kind of become this sort of like invisible type of person where we actually attract people who don't create space for us. They don't hear us and they don't consider us either. If you don't believe you're worth being loved, you will essentially keep attracting people that fulfill that prophecy. So let's get into how you can start loving yourself in the deeper ways that will allow you to attract, that deeper kind of love that you're probably craving. So a lack of self-love comes from a place of lack of self-worth. It's from a lack of knowing. So you don't really know yourself. You don't know what lights you up, what you're worth. You really don't understand how special you are. So when you don't like yourself, love yourself, you don't really know yourself, your relationships can feel quite vampiric. It's a bit of a metaphor for codependency. So you're always leeching off of each other. You're depending on each other to fulfill needs, expectations. So when you're not self-fulfilled, you don't really know yourself, what you want, what you like, you really can attract codependent relationships where you expect the other person to make you happy and to fulfill all your needs, which really is living from a disempowered state. And it breeds resentment within the relationship. So the goal here is to how to feel fulfilled, lit up, and happy on your own so that you don't attract codependency. So just a quick recap on that. That was the first one, getting to know yourself and becoming, as self-fulfilled as possible. It increases your self-worth, your happiness, and your self-love. So the next one is starting to take inventory of your thoughts and beliefs so that you can become aware of why you are attracting what you are in terms of people and situations. Notice your thoughts, discover your patterns, and then start questioning those thoughts and patterns. Do I believe this thought? Do I want to attract this kind of person? Does this thought, pattern, belief system serve my highest potential? So until we start attracting from an aware, conscious, intentional state, we will continue to attract from our subconscious mind. So the subconscious mind is a bit like a tape player. It keeps playing over and over like the same wound scenarios from when we were a child, all of our kind of like pain experiences, our outdated belief systems, and that's where a lot of people are actually operating from. That's why a lot of the people that we attract can feel kind of like a ghost from the past, like that's showing us all of our pain and our wounds and reflecting back to us those belief systems that are no longer serving. So number 2 is starting to really take a thought inventory, pattern inventory, and understanding your thoughts and patterns and belief systems. The next one is starting to rewire those patterns and belief systems. So here's an example of a subconscious thought or belief that might be coming up for you. I need to try harder to prove myself to this person because they keep pulling away from me. So now that you're tracking your patterns, start calling it out. Like, what is the rainbow at the end of this chase with this particular person? Is this person my dream person? What am I actually chasing right now? So maybe what comes up is I'm chasing approval. I'm chasing validation. I feel more comfortable in the chase zone because what's after the chase zone? Me being vulnerable, me actually having to be in a relationship. Maybe I don't feel like I'm enough. I don't feel like I'm enough for a relationship. Maybe I'm chasing my dad who abandoned me when I was 5. Maybe that made me feel like I wasn't enough. And now I'm chasing and putting myself in that scenario over and over and over again. This is a literal black hole. You need to believe you deserve more because you do. You are worth more than that. So let's take that pattern and belief and start to rewire it. So you can journal this out, you can write it out, you can look at yourself in the mirror, or you can preferably do both. But these are the affirmations, rewires that you're going to start to say. I am enough. I give myself permission to release these old patterns. I value myself. I will fight for myself. I will defend myself. I deserve more. I value myself, so I will now start to attract what values me back. So again, it's like a mirror. Whatever you start to truly believe about yourself will start to reflect in the people that you attract. I love myself. I honor myself. I hear myself. I will defend myself by setting boundaries for myself. Boundaries are one of the most important components of self-love. So essentially you're letting go of the old thoughts, patterns, and belief systems, and you're telling yourself a new story, telling yourself a better lie. Because, you can say I'm living off of a lie because the patterns that are allowing you to attract what you are, that narrative is saying that I'm not worth it. So I have to chase because I'm not worth it. No, let's rewire that because you are worth it. Keep replacing the disempowering thoughts and patterns with conscious, intentional thought. Boundaries are probably one of the most important parts of self-love. If you're not setting boundaries, that pattern, that thought belief could be, I'm not worth setting boundaries for. Boundaries really create your life and dictate how people treat you. So you will tend to attract people who disregard you and disrespect you if you're not setting boundaries. I am valuable. I respect myself and my time. I will show up for myself. I will fight for myself. I am enough. Those are the ones you want to start saying to help with boundaries. So before you go to sleep every night, start holding your face in your hands. Hold your face in your hands, put your hands in your heart, and say, I got you. I am enough. I love you. I give myself permission to receive healthy love. I am worth being loved. So just starting to make these changes above, it's like shedding, an old version of yourself, like a snake skin, just shedding off all those old beliefs and patterns that are no longer serving, that have been outdated for a really long time, and moving into a more, like a higher self of new thoughts and patterns and belief systems that will allow you to attract what you actually deserve and desire. So it's my personal mission to help people love themselves, to help them shed those old, disempowering thoughts and belief systems and to move into that higher self. So personally, I've been through, every version of abuse, like sexual, physical, verbal, cutting, just living from that really disempowered, low self-worth state to where I am now. So it is my goal to bring people together in a sacred, safe, healing space where we can all empower each other, help each other on our journeys, and reach that highest potential and start bringing in that love and that life that we deserve and desire so much. So I created Magic Minis to be that sacred space where we can grow and heal together. The first workshop will be in August. The link is in my bio. It's under Healing the Bad Boy Wound Workshop. That's the Magic Mini. It's called that for a very specific reason, which I'll get into and explain more in the actual workshop. So after the workshop is done, it's going to be about an hour to an hour and a half long over Google Meet. There is a sisterhood Instagram group that we will all join so we can continue to get to know each other and support each other on our journeys. We'll make new friends. That part of it's really important because it's actually holding each other accountable to do the work, right, for sustainable outcome and growth. I'm excited to heal and glow and grow with you all. I will see you there first week of August. Until then, please take good care and I love you.